I was scrolling through YouTube one day when this video came up. After watching it, I wanted to know if someone had made a mod like it, and after searching the Project Zomboid workshop, lo and behold, this mod adds in a custom trait that makes you more susceptible to the Project Zomboid's infection by making it airborne. Now, luckily, there's a way to prevent this. Masks. In this mod there are 6 different levels of masks, and my main goal is to wear or collect every single one of them. But the catch is I have a few rules. Number 1, I have to start the game with nothing. Number 2, I must pick the unemployed trait with no buffs. Number 3, once I die it's game over, so hardcore mode is enabled. And finally number 4, well, don't die. With those set in place, I can now start this challenge. I created my world and character, then loaded up. As I spawned, I noticed something was a bit off. There was meant to be a new icon on the top left part of my screen for the new mask UI, but there wasn't. It wasn't until then that I realized this was an actual trait mod and I had to put on the trait myself. So, let's redo that. When I first spawned in, I was in a bit of shock. I've chosen Rosewood 100 times, but not once did I spawn in this house. I didn't think much of it, but when I was setting up my world, I must have forgot to hit Rosewood. Meaning now I spawn in a completely new and different place. Now this wouldn't be a challenge video without goals. So to get myself rolling, my first goal was to find a mask so I wouldn't be infected. With that set in place, I started to loot my starter house. All I found was some clothes that made me look like a dad, but this was the starting home. I wasn't expecting that much. Next I went down to the kitchen for anything that would be useful as a weapon. A pan would do. I had no need for this house any longer, and like a dad on Christmas Day, I told it I was going to get milk. This was a lie, as I was really leaving. I then went outside and killed my first zombie, then my second, before looting my neighbor's house. I didn't bother too much because they were dead. Remember kids, make sure to rob your neighbors' houses. It was then I found out that I could actually create masks out of all the dead zombies' clothing I've been stealing. So, I did so. After looking like Walter White from looting my neighbor's house, I killed a few more zombies. After looting a few more houses, I explored my new surroundings and found the area in which I'd find myself for most of this video, the trailer park. I saw 2 cars next to the trailer I would dub my new home. I told myself that I would loot those later, as it was already 6 PM, and most players would have already set up their outpost. So I snuck into the trailer and stole a sheet from the bathroom. I hung it up in the bedroom and made the right idea to look where I was actually going to sleep. After looking outside and seeing a glance of a horde, I decided I would move into the trailer next to me. Like a high school kid going to a party at 12 AM, I jumped out of the window and went to the second trailer, just to find a zombie living inside of it. I couldn't let this fly, so I decided to murder him. After killing the zombie and putting up some sheets so the zombie horde couldn't see me, I went to sleep, officially ending my first day on this world. I woke up at 3 AM, a wonderful time to start the day. Remembering the 2 cars from yesterday, I wanted to see if there was anything good inside of them. I checked the first car and then went back inside, as when it's dark, it's not the best option to search for items. To pass the time while being productive, I read my skill book till it was 6:30. I now had to scavenge for food since I was hungry. The first place I checked was the first trailer I was in. Finding some food, I cooked it, then chose to explore my location more. Seeing a bigger building on my map, I knew it had to be good, so I went to check it out. I checked all sides to see if there was a way in, and lucked out when the front doors were open. This building turned out to be a warehouse, and in a zombie world, all warehouses are gold mines. Shovels, screwdrivers, box of nails, and of course one of the best items on this mod, dust masks. So the dust mask falls into protection level 3, which is a massive step up from my cloth face covering that I've been wearing throughout this video. But I did skip over level 2, so I would have to get that eventually. Now with all these items, I ran into a problem that every Project Zomboid player has experienced: being over encumbered. Now to prevent this problem, you can put extra items you have in bags like hiking bags, backpacks, duffel bags, and even trash bags. Here's where Project Zomboid's RPG comes in. See, the most common bag to find on a zombie is a duffel bag, and with the small horde I avoided when I was trying to get in here, I prayed that at least one of them had it. I aimed and pointed to the zombie horde, and suddenly there it was. A beautiful, lime green duffel bag in the middle of 9 zombies. All I had to do was acquire it. Now, I don't have very many hours in this game, but I do know the mechanics well enough that I was able to come up with a strategy. I'd lure in 1 to 2 zombies at a time until I was able to get my hands on that bag. And once I did, the relief went over me like a wave. Not only that, but the building that the zombies were by was another part of the warehouse. Looting the second warehouse, I went back to the first warehouse where I dropped all my items and put them in my duffel bag. By this time, most players would have claimed a house, but not me. I wanted to explore more. I wanted to look at my surroundings and know where I was. So I looked at my map, it showing another big building right behind the warehouse. Without any thought, I booked it. The only thing separating me from this building was a small line of trees with some zombies in it. I was finally able to see what the building was, and it was better than I thought. A police station sometimes has guns, but it always has police officers around it, meaning better gear than what I have on right now. And right in front of this police station was a small group of zombies, one of them being a police officer. So I lured him away, killed him, and took his gear. Wanting to see how far I could get, I went to the fence but backed down as I didn't want more zombies after me. But Project Zomboid had a different plan for me. All of a sudden, zombies from the forest were after me. It was times like these why I questioned why I didn't just go back to the trailer park. Unable to fight 5 zombies in one go, I ran back to the warehouse, it being the closest building I could hide in, and slept. Ending day 2. I arose and immediately chose violence as I ran back to the warehouse and started taking out zombies. Now, in my defense, this was considered self-defense from what they were trying to do to me yesterday. Getting a laceration on my right forearm, I quickly bandaged myself before turning back and getting my revenge. After the dust settled and me being me, I went back to the police station. But this time, instead of heading towards the horde, I walked in the opposite direction. But there was only one problem with that. There were zombies there too. Who would have guessed in a world full of zombies that there would be zombies everywhere? Overwhelmed, I ran. But this time I ran past the warehouse and back to the trailer park. Suddenly, zombies were coming from nowhere, swarming me. The 4th rule started blaring in my mind: don't die. Quickly thinking, I jumped over a tall fence, meaning the zombies would have to go around it, and this would give me more time. As I walked away from my death trap, the long fence was coming to an end, and I jokingly told myself, it would suck if there were more zombies around the corner. And it was as if God had a sick, twisted sense of humor. A horde of zombies appeared from behind the corner. I would spend the next 3 minutes trying to kill 5 zombies, tripping over a fence, getting more scratches, and even dropping my shovel. Once I did, I thought I was in the clear, till out of the blue, more of the horde came. I tried to outrun them by walking to the side of the building, but there was another horde in front of the building. I was badly out of breath and thought to myself, this was probably it. But in a twist of fate, the thing that saved me was jumping over this fence. I was able to outwalk the zombies, but not without giving myself a deadly dose of fear and panic. I ran straight forward and saw a small cabin. I ran inside and shut the door, then got into the bathroom and locked the door. I was unable to move, paranoid of any small sound, scared that the zombies were still after me. So I sat in the dark, waiting and listening as the time ticked down to my 3rd day. I want to take a minute to thank all of you for making it this far into the video. If you did make it this far, comment down Airborne. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, why not watch another? On the left is a video that took me to 1,000 subs, and on the right is a Minecraft video I made for my dad. Like, comment, sub, and have a hell of a day.